Hello everyone and welcome back. So in today's presentation, I will walk you through how to set up a AWS Control Tower Service into your AWS account. In my previous video, I have covered what and why of AWS Control Tower Service, so you can go and watch it at your own convenience. So moving to the next slide. So before setting up AWS Control Tower, we have to fulfill some of the prerequisites. And in today's presentation, we're going to cover the prerequisites, and then I will jump into the installation demo. So without any further ado, let's move to the prerequisites section. So there are three major requirements to set up a AWS Control Tower Service. So you have to have a management AWS account. So first thing, you need to log in into the AWS console and set up an AWS account for yourself, and it will be our master or a management account. And we need 3 email addresses for our landing zone solution. So and one for the management account, second one for the log archive account, and third one is for audit account. So what actually these 3 account means is management account is your master account. This is the place from where we launched the AWS Control Tower Service. These accounts host most AWS centralized management services like AWS SSO, AWS Billing, AWS Organization, AWS Service Catalog, and AWS CloudFormation Stack Sets. And the second account is Log Archive account. This is one of the shared account which is set up automatically when you create your landing zone. This account contains a central Amazon S3 bucket for storing a copy of all AWS CloudTree logs and AWS config log files for all other accounts in the landing zone. And third one is the audit account, which is another shared account, sits in our security organization unit. And this audit account should be restricted to security and compliance teams, with auditors read-only access and administrator full access. And these three email addresses, you can use a Google email service where you can create some aliases by adding a plus sign around it. So it is easy to set up your 3 email addresses for a demo, for your own demo. Okay, and yeah, of course, the third thing you need is the credit card, a working credit card, which you can hook up to your management account. So let's move to the installation demo.
Now we are in our management console of the master account, and from here we can navigate to AWS Control Tower Service. And from here you can press the Setup Landing Zone button, and it will take you to the first screen of the Control Tower setup. Here we are in AWS Sydney region, so I'll keep most of the default configurations. And yeah, you can pick your own AWS region where you are building the Control Tower service. And yeah, we can keep the region deny settings as the default and press the next button. It will take us to the next screen where we are going to set up our AWS organization under AWS Control Tower. Here we have 2 organization unit, which one is foundational organization unit, and we Control Tower is naming it as security. We can change it as per our convenience, but I'll keep all the default settings for now. And there is an additional OU. We can keep it as default as well. It is an optional one. Now we're going to configure the shared accounts and the encryption settings for the shared accounts, which are our log archive account and the audit account. So we have to provide the email addresses, the aliases we have created, as I suggested in our presentation. So yep, for the logging account, you can pick the logging email alias, and for the audit account, you can pick the audit email alias. And for the KMS encryption, we will keep the default settings. But in your production environments, you can definitely customize your encryption settings. So, yep, let's quickly review and press the next button. So the next screen takes us to the review and setup landing zone page. It will show us what region we have picked for our control tower and what organization units we have in our AWS organization under control tower. And we have two accounts we are creating under our security organization unit, and the KMS settings are disabled. And now the fourth step is review and set up landing zone, where we have to allow control tower to create resources on our behalf, like AWS single sign-on service, AWS organization units, and AWS SNS notification, and configure AWS config aggregator service. So now we have allowed control tower to set up resources on our behalf, and press the setup landing zone button. So now it will take us like 60 minutes to for the complete setup, but I have experienced it will take between 15 to 30 minutes to set up a bare minimal control tower service with two organization units and three shared accounts. One is master, one is logging, and third one is the audit account, and with some guardrails. So we can pause our video here, and I'll enable the video in some time. Yes, it is still in process. So meanwhile, we can navigate to our email, and here we should have received email invitation for AWS single sign-on service. So here we can open it and choose the accept invitation, which takes us to the single sign-on page. Here we can specify a new password for the single sign-on user, which we're going to use it later on for all our new account enrollments. Yep, please keep a strong password. So now our AWS SSO user has been set up. And there must be few other emails we have received. Like whenever we create a new AWS account, we receive new account creation emails. And this is what we can see. One is for logging account and one is for the audit account. So our accounts are ready, but we have to wait till the time AWS notify us that control tower configurations have been done. So, and I am waiting for the last email for the config AWS config aggregator email. We have to accept the invitation. So that email is for receiving compliance change notification in email sent to our audit account. We have to subscribe to this Amazon SNS topic to receive any compliance changes within our AWS Control Tower managed environment. And yes, now it seems like our landing zone has been set up, and with two organization units and three foundational accounts, and with some guardrails, preventive and detective guardrails. So now we can navigate to the dashboard, and here we can see We have organization units, sandbox and security, the default ones. And we have the root one, which is our master account. And in security, we have two AWS accounts, audit and log archive, for which we have provided the email addresses, as you can see here. And from account factory, we can further enroll new accounts to our AWS Control Tower. And here we can view all the guardrails, enabled guardrails, or some mandatory guardrails which we can apply into our organization units or at the account level. And these guardrails comes out of the box, and we can use them to tighten the security. And user and access is your AWS SSO single sign-on URL. From here, we can create a few more users later on, and we can integrate our own identity, corporate identity, to have a central authentication and authorization for the control tower. So that's it for now.